This is a great idea. However, the fans of the blog era need to be careful about pushing this too positively on an artist because they can't last no more than 10 years in the spotlight because the fans will start getting tired of the same thing produced, and the oversaturation of that formula will cause hip hop to drop from the billboards. This needs to be taken with
Okay, so no introduction today, y'all. This is going to be a conversation that I'm going to be having with some of y'all. Not all, some of y'all. So if you're only here to watch this on what this is about, feel free to stay and watch. But if you are not this very person and you have been at least reasonable, please feel free to leave the video. Now, as those of you who are watching this right now, I'm going to be expecting and putting partial blame on very, very hyped up, positive blog era fans that have decided to overhype the positivity of the blog era as a result. Now, the reason I am talking about this is because this very formula was used throughout the blog era, which was around 2005 to about 2015, if not more. Yeah. So, throughout that 10-year gap, there was a lot of changes, and I wanted to talk about that because a lot of people didn't know, so I'm going to give a bit of a brief rundown. So, mainstream media had decided to use this formula, and it became very popular, right? And I had a bit of reflection on it, and I decided to write it in my journal. And when I did, there were a couple of people in the media that brought it up, and they thought the exact same thing as me, that if this was used very, very heavily, it would become a huge, huge issue. If it's over negative, then it would kind of backtrack everything that we've had, at least far as the billboards, the sales, everything across the board, pretty much moving further away from us, and we would need a huge reset. Whereas if it's over positive, it would oversaturate the majority of mainstream audiences and basically put, especially specifically rap, further down than it normally used to. So, over time, I've started to notice certain blog era fans that may have or may have not took the liberty to discuss the over positive results of this, and they basically pushed it on every conversation for such a long time. Streams, sales, and pretty much the top 100 billboards. And as a result of that, as of probably this year, 2025, yep, as of this year, and as of now at this point, rap is in a bad spot where they're not getting into the top 40 anymore. Now, I'm only going to say this is a partial blame on the blog era fans, some of them. It's on the blame of some of them. Why? Because it's very clear that people, and at least some of them, in the very space, were warning you motherfuckers about literally overhyping this shit to the point where you thought that this was completely and utterly a great rate, that it would never get oversaturated, that it would never cause rap to go further back, somehow you motherfuckers just didn't think that that was going to happen. Like there was no pros and cons. There were only pros, no cons. My fucking God. Let me say this for you motherfuckers to clear this up. Because y'all have been warned for years up until this point and has been ignored. So, as a result, this is what it is. So, this particular formula was made clear to me. And when I made this clear, a lot of other ones, again, agreed with me that this would be very oversaturated if the conversation was only about this very thing. If good lyrics and phenomenal instrumental would give you good and bad results if used lightly. But it is very clear that someone completely just disregarded that fucking method and decided that it was good overall and it didn't have any bad things whatsoever. Now, I'm going to be 100% clear. Rap skill definitely has their pros and cons. I am not going to act like that's not the case here. But do not sit there and act like instrumentals and quality of an album does not have their pros and cons either. This is my fucking problem with some of y'all. Y'all refuse to literally cancel out some shit, and then once you rely on one side, you completely forget the other, and as a result, you overhype this one and completely think that the other one is the most egregious, most ridiculous thing. The mindset is completely fucking retarded. I'm sorry, it's just so fucking retarded. So, if you guys did not literally look at either the tweet I posted or what I put on the screen, I literally said this, and I'm going to read it here right now. As a result, I think it is good for the mainstream to push this method because more rappers will have a shot at the game with basic lyrics and phenomenal instrumental. This is a great idea. However, the fans of the blog era needs to be careful about pushing this too positively on an artist because they can't last no more than 10 years in the spotlight. Because the fans will start getting tired of the same thing produced, and oversaturation of that formula will cause hip hop to drop from the billboards. This needs to be taken with lighter caution. So, far, this prediction, at least from my journal, is starting to become a lot more credible, and it's more than likely to happen. So, I'm going to say this right now. Dear some of the blog era fans, please please, 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 please take accountability for this. Because, no offense, I get it. You think there's no reason to be held accountable for this? But really, yes, you have, because you guys have supported this formula for years and didn't think there was going to be a single con about it. So, take accountability and move on. Now, before I end this video, I want people to be clear that I'm going to be posting a little bit more on my Instagram. I'm going to be discussing a little bit. I'm already starting a bit of a series on there. I'm going to post that on my stories and then put them as channel posts. Not on my YouTube channel, but on the IG for regular posts. So make sure to go and follow my Instagram down below. And everything else is pretty much in the link in the description. So go ahead and make sure to do that. But if you have enjoyed this particular video to the end, make sure to go ahead, leave a like. Also hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. It's been Zach, guys. Later.